Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Meathook Massacre II, the sequel to the insanity of the first one. In this version, we're using life gain enchantments to help us pay the cost of our keycard. This way, we're able to pay life to get our own men back when they are killed off, and the opponent has to suffer the consequences of their men being killed in action. We've leaned heavily into card draw as well to help us find the cards we need, as well as getting lands to fuel our expensive cards. We are playing some removals, which we haven't in a while, but we're back to playing silly cards. We do make use of tokens for the little chip damage that they provide, as well as blocking any dangerous men. The opponent's own men will help fuel our victories. We're playing the full set of Case of the Uneaten Feast, the enchantment that gains us a life every time we have one of our men enter play. Once we solve it, we can sacrifice it to get any of our men back from the grave, although we have the Black Virtue to help get men from any grave on our side. If we get any men from the opponent off a Meathook Massacre or a Virtue, this will also trigger the life gain. Fun for us, pain for them. Not on my watch is our first removal. It will hit any attacker and send them packing to Belize. It's a one-way trip, but there's enough men in the current standard that don't like to stay in the grave if they die. This will make sure we don't have to see them swinging in at us turn after turn. Cathartic Parting is an excellent card that can help us take out opposing enchantments and artifacts. As a bonus, we can recycle some of our used-up removals or enchantments that have ended up in an early grave. It's a good way to refuel our deck while setting the opponent back. Up the Beanstalk is part of the card drawing department we've enlisted to fuel us for the long game. It immediately replaces itself, which is a huge bonus on its own, but the additional card draw we get when we play out cards that are 5 mana or more can help get us the W. Caretaker's talent is the other member of the card draw department. The talent will get us an extra card whenever we have a token enter play on our side. This could easily be one of our mice tokens or a token land. Taking the talent up to level 2 gets us a copy of any token we control for only 1 white mana. At level 3, our tokens get a boost that can help us finish off opponents. One of the best cards in Standard is still one of the best cards. 3 Blind Mice is our small token generator. When we play it out, it makes a 1/1 mouse token, but the next 2 turns after that, we get to copy any token we have on board. This ability to make extra tokens goes well with the Caretaker's talent. On Chapter 4, our men on board get a small boost and get Vigilance for the turn. It might not seem like much, but when we have a squad of men, it's a great way to get in for hits. Damages, bro. Damages. Meathook Massacre is the killer that makes the game difficult for the opponent. The downside of this powerful enchantment is its casting cost, which requires 4 black mana and double X. It's difficult to pull off in a 3-color deck, but it can be very worth it to get it on board. When we pay X of 1 or more, we'll get an immediate benefit, which is to clear out some enemy men and force the opponent to lose 3 life unless they want their men on our side. It's a powerful way to turn dead enemies into damages, and with the life gain we have, we can use the Massacre to get our own men back right away to keep hitting the opponent. Sunfall is one of the most powerful sweepers ever. It'll take out every enemy regardless of its abilities and gives us an incubator token. This reset button is what we'll push when the opponent has gotten a huge advantage over us and give us a chance to even up the board. The green Overlord is a great way to ramp up mana, and with any one of our card draw enchantments in play, we'll get an extra card as well. The Overlords are great in that we can play them out for their impending cost, and later, once we have enough mana, we can play them out for their full price, and whichever way we use, we still get their enters play trigger. The white Overlord generates a pair of 2/1 flying men when it enters play. As with the green Overlord, we can play it out for its impending cost and later play it out for its full price. The Black Virtue is removal for early men in the early to mid game. Then in the late game, we can play it out as an enchantment and get men from any grave on our side. Getting men out turn after turn is a sure way to eventually take the game, even if the opponent has plenty of removals. GG's, bro. Thanks for coming on the big show. For lands, We're playing 2 Mirrex, the special land that we can use to generate token men. 4 Fabled Passage, the land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic land from our deck. 4 Hushwood Verge, the forest that turns into a Celestia duel when we have a plains or forest in play. 4 Forest, 4 Swamp, and 6 Plains. Playing the deck can be somewhat complicated thanks to it being 3 colors, and we use a minimal amount of dual lands to help us out. The mana base has been something we've constantly worked on, and it's very likely we should have a Golgari duel in the deck to help out with green and black mana. Our early turns should be about getting down some of our early enchantments or playing out a green Overlord for ramp. Whenever possible, try to copy the token land to further ramp us into our more expensive cards. The token lands are particularly useful since they can tap for any color and are great at helping us play out a Meathook Massacre. We have enough card draw that buying time with a Sunfall could get us back in a game. The mid to late game should see us setting up our board while we hold back enemy men. Once we get a Meathook down, we can start to take over though. That can also be said if we get a Virtue down. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Corey. With so many of them, it's hard to tell which Corey this is. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We have a talent as well as a way to generate tokens. The very real problem with this deck is that playing 3 colors is not easy. But yet, we're going to try to make it happen here. Keep your hopes up. With extra card draw, we have a chance to draw into lands we need. Another white and at least 1 green would be nice. We won't have any men entering play anytime soon, but it's better to get it down now versus waiting until later. Oh no, not the landfall combo in Rakdos even. Our pants will stay on, bro. Don't try to take them off. Pervert. We draw an excellent answer to the enemy. We'll snipe their guy and get our life total back to 20. That's right. Get gone, girl. They get down a Vlad the Impaler. He's got the potential to get big quickly, depending on what cards they've included in their deck. Deserts are fine. Slow, but fine. We draw another Plains, and it'll be time for our talent to come on down. We'll aim for the 3 Blind Mice next time around, or maybe even the White Overlord. They drop in the only guy who will admit to having a tiny bone. Please don't show us, bro. It's family night on the big show. It's time to land our 3 Blind Mice. We'll get a token right away, along with another card, and we can make a token copy by taking the talent up to level 2. They get an Alesha down. We'll want to make sure we send her to an early grave, as she can end up pulling all their dead men back from the grave. For now, we'll keep building up. The extra draw gets us a Meathook. We're still a ways away from playing it out with only 2 black on board. We need to get the green Overlord down to have a shot at playing it. This turn, we'll impending out our white Overlord. All the token men we've had enter has kept our life total up at a healthy level. They snipe a token, but that's fine. None of their men present a threat that's too big for us to handle. They hit us for damages, but we gain enough life back that we're still fine. Well then, we probably shouldn't have triple blocked there. That's our oopsie poopsie for the game. Noted, and we'll avoid that as long as Alesha is still on board. We'll keep up our double removals this time around. Alesha and Vlad have got to go. They send in 3 men, but one we can double block and the other 2 have removals waiting for them. Alesha gets to go to heaven along with Vlad the Impaler. They play out some reanimation and get their 1 guy back. Sure, bro, that's fine too. We draw a Mirex, and that's our second green. Let's get it down, and we can play out our green Overlord. Full price. No half-baked men this time. The token land will get us a draw, and now we're up to 3 black, as well as 2 green from here on out. Only 1 more black, and we can play out every card in our deck. They land a Lord Skitter. The grave is not a safe place, but luckily we don't entirely rely on the grave to be able to throw down a beating. We draw a Fabled Passage, and that smells like a 4th black. We've already got 3, and this fetch us out another swamp. Let's use our Parting to take away their enchantment. Sure, it doesn't really do that much now, but let's stop any further pain when their legendary men are killed off. We'll follow up with the second 3 blind mice. They send in their token rat, but it's not getting through. I'm not sure if they've been paying attention, but this little chip drain is not going anywhere when we're gaining life for every guy we have enter play. The time has come to fire back. Let's send in the bigs, and we'll see how they handle having big men come at them. The Tiny Boned Wonder is an excellent blocker, but once he's gone, we're free to send it in turn after turn. Leveling up the talent will make our team a force. Those flying tokens will be no joke. Good luck trying to drain enough to overcome the loss from them. They send in a rat to drain us for another 1, but we'll gain it back right away by making a Mirex token. Plus that's a 3/3 that's coming in. Bro finally realized those shenanigans were fake shenanigans. GG's, bro. Smell you later. This is Brewski. No, wait, it's Drewski from apartment 201. Bro likes eggs, but only if they float. We get a 3-lander loaded with Overlords. We've already got double green and a single white, so that's a good start. We'll need some good draws, but at least we can smooth out our own mana with what we've got in hand. Keep your pants on. We draw a swamp, so that's 1 out of 4 black taken care of. We'll play out a passage and get another swamp. It looks weird. But keep in mind our color requirements, especially early on in a game. What the F is that, bro? I can't remember the last time I saw someone play out a Shattered Spire. Bro unearthed an artifact from a bygone era. Nice. They drop in a green artifact guy. That too has not seen regular play in decades. Bro is coming in out of the blue with some oddball stuff. That's a double Meathook hand we've got now. True story. Let's land our Verge and get to ramping with a green Overlord. With the token land, we've got all the white and green we need. Now we can work on black. They play out an Innkeeper's talent, and their one guy is going to get a pump. No workout required, just get roided up. Performance enhancing is legit in MTG. We draw a talent of our own, and that will have to be our play. Let's use the passage to get a plains, and we'll play out the talent. We can use the talent to copy the land token we have, and that will put us at 3 black on board. And you thought we botched it by fetching a plains. They go for a level 3 talent, and that makes their guy rather beefy. Very nice, but we're still alive and we have a chance. We draw a case and we'll play it out. The Meathook is our follow-up play. Luckily, they've got only one guy in play, so all we have to do is make X equal 1, and we have the mana for that. They play out a couple of their removals, but those aren't doing a thing when there are 0 men on board. What they should have done was kept those in their pants. Don't whip them out to show off when they could still be useful later. Just because you have lands untapped doesn't mean you need to burn your mana. We draw another case, but this turn is going to our white Overlord. It's 3 men entering play for us, and we'll have lethality on our next turn unless they have removals. Sure, that's a big guy, but it's not going to be enough. They throw down another removal and use it to snipe our white Overlord. Oopsie poopsie, bro. That guy is coming right back anyways when we pay the 3 life. We'll clear out their blocker with another strategically dropped Meathook. The massacre is on no matter how much they try to fight it. Here's proof you don't have to pick the newest Meathook. You can pick the one that's been on board, and you still get the Enters Play triggers for the second one. Whether or not they give us their guy doesn't really matter. We have lethality either way. GG's, bro. Extra cheese. This is Pokemon 7. No, wait, it's JD Mon. He's a funny-looking Pokemon. We get a 3-lander with a complication. The lands are not cooperating. We will be able to play out our white enchantment, so that's a start. Keep your pants on. In this deck, you really want to save a Mirex for later. In this case, if we draw a green, we can play the Mirex the turn we want to drop the Overlord. Bro takes the opportunity to opt. Maybe should have opted for a better deck. They have a pair of blue untapped, but we have to try to get our game plan going. Let's play out the talent. And it goes through smooth as some melted chocolate. They drop a passage, so they might not be monocolored. And they aren't. They fetch out a mountain. We'll play out our 3 blind mice and get our draw going. We can use the white mana left to make another token copy. They have no clue we have green in the deck and in hand. Wait a second. There isn't mono red? What's going on here? They opt again, but their options are limited. That's a nice way to pump their spear guy. Get a draw along with an extra damage. We draw a forest and we'll play it out, then we can play out the beanstalk. It's a chain of green all of a sudden. That'll let us play out our green overlords, and we'll be in business. Let's send in 1 token in case they have a removal. They'll need 2 in order to stop us from blocking. Wait a minute. They're mono blue and mono red in one deck. Bro couldn't decide and went with both. With a genie in a bottle on board, we'll block up to prevent some damage. Only 1 blocker, as they could have a pump spell, as mono red almost always does. Surprise, surprise. I mean, you'd have to be blind to not see that coming. I'm not sure what's with the pause here. It's not like we're giving up because they did something we thought they'd do. What clownery is this? We'll pay full price for a green overlord. They are fully tapped, so no worries they might have a counter. This will get us to 3 black mana, and we have the Mirex for the 4th. Oh no, not the manual tapping. What's that all about? They drop another genie in a bottle. You have to rub him the right way. Well, that could be bad. It's looking like they might have lethality on their next attack. We'll do what we can do and see if maybe a Meathook can buy us another turn. Let's send in everyone. That's 13 damages if they don't block up. Decisions are so hard for some Pokemon to make. Come on, bro, pull your head out. It's a mono-red player, trying to play both mono-red and mono-blue in the same deck. I guess we can't expect smart decisions. They oopsie-poopsie and block up our Overlord with their Spear guy. Mr. Spears is going down a hole. And that leaves only the genies in a bottle. We're about to rub them out. That sounded weird. Let's hook this fool. X is 2. Pack your bags, ladies. It's time to get gone. There goes their board, and we'll get their genies unless they want to pay 6 life. It's going to be another tough decision for Mono Red trying to play Mono Blue. Poor Mono Red. They've fallen on some hard times. Having to branch out into other colors or join their deck with another mono-colored deck. It's like a head-on train wreck. These two aren't working out well together. It's a total disaster. And they have to play out a card that makes token men. They block our token and take the big hit. Maybe it's just me, but I would have blocked the big guy and taken the 1. Let's play out our other Overlord. We'll be a couple of hits away from taking this one. It's already started to smell like GG's. That's too much for mono red plus mono blue. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the shark man bite. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.